Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here on the road to Fastlane, getting ready for WrestleMania 32. And as we know, every day from here on out, that basically the dirt sheets are going to give us some sort of big story about WrestleMania, because there's so much news that packs the world of wrestling from here on out. Yesterday, the world was sort of shaken by the news coming out that Batista was offered a spot at WrestleMania 32, but he didn't like the offer that WWE came to them with. He didn't say that it wasn't the offer, like the money wise. It just basically, creatively, Batista didn't think that was the best thing for him to do. He said the door was still open for Batista to do something at WrestleMania, but it didn't look like they had to go back to the drawing board to try and figure them out. Sometimes when I make these videos, they're honestly, I read the story and I just give you my first thought right out of the gate, almost, without really thinking about it. But yesterday, the Batista story really stuck with me for a while, and I kept on trying to think, what would they have offered Batista to come to WrestleMania 32? What on the card makes me think that he's going to come in? Is he going to have a match against Brock? Is he going to have a match against, a guy like Bray Wyatt? Is he going to have something like this? Batista has been on a lot of podcasts. He's been very openly critical about WWE, not really liking the PG era, not really liking creative. He wished he could just go to Vince McMahon, pitch an idea. If Vince likes it, that's where they're going to go with it. But, I honestly was thinking about Roman Reigns versus Triple H, which is going to be the main event of WrestleMania 32. I was thinking about, the rumor is that The Rock is going to be in the corner of Roman Reigns because they have the same blood. They're in the same family line. Much like, when Roman won the Royal Rumble, The Rock was there to really try to get Roman over so people wouldn't boo him. And honestly, if you think about Triple H's corner, Stephanie McMahon will probably be out there in his corner, and then Vince McMahon, will be out there to protect the integrity of the WWE as well. I don't really know what Vince's, beef is with Roman Reigns. Maybe it's just because, he's a bad guy and Roman's a good guy, and that's really all it really is. I don't think Vince has a problem with the Samoans or anything like that, but it's not really that much of a heel factor. I mean, if you think about, you've got Roman Reigns versus Triple H in the ring. They've got pretty equal skills. They're going to go in there and they're going to beat the hell out of each other. But if you've got The Rock on the outside and you've got Vince McMahon on the other side, there's nothing really to stop Rock from doing whatever he wants to do. Maybe, Vince can hit The Rock with a chair, and that'll take him out for about a minute, and then he'll come back. But, I mean, the Vince isn't going to be able to take down The Rock and beat him down. So what I was thinking is that basically, because of their evolution ties, that Triple H would bring Batista in as the muscle, and Batista really, he might get physical during the match, but he might just have like one spot, maybe two at the most, and he really wouldn't be a part of the match as a whole. He'd just be a part of the story of what's going on out there. But I mean, if Triple H was to come down and bring Batista as the muscle, I think that's what was, basically pitched to Batista, and then he turned it down. At this point of the game, I think Batista wants to be a featured performer. I think it wants to be all about him or nothing. I can honestly see, though, it could set up something for WrestleMania 33 if Batista wanted to have that big match against Triple H. That if, Batista came out there and he was a part of the match, maybe Batista makes some sort of mistake and Triple H blames Batista for what, happened, and you could sit that on the back burner. And then Batista comes back in about a year, and gets things ready for WrestleMania 33. Basically, the last two times Batista would have left, you would have had Triple H, firing Batista from Evolution to go off and do his movie career, where Triple H said, go ahead, go off and make a movie that no one's going to see, talking about Guardians of the Galaxy, which ended up being one of the biggest comic book movies of all time, and he's getting ready to promote, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which should be coming out sooner than later, and then he could do WrestleMania 33, Triple H versus Batista. I know that they're building up the roster as of right now. Maybe they won't have as many injuries, but Batista coming back to WWE is always going to be a big thing. Bring back Big Dave. Let's save us.